Friday night, live improv from New York City and by golly, around the country. We have a fabulous cast for you tonight. I want to say hello to them before we get started. Hello, Barry.
Hey, Scotty.
Hello, Sandi.
Hey, Scotty.
Hi, Margaret.
Hi, Scotty.
Hello, Diane.
Yo, hello.
Hi, Heidi.
Hey there.
And hello, Shari.
Hello, Scotty.
That is our fabulous cast. And we're going to kick it off with, we're going to meet some really interesting people from a beautiful small town, very small, in fact. Only 6 people live in this town. The town is called Goon River. And this town is dealing with an issue. They're trying to decide. It's a big event in the life of a small town. What is that issue, oh inhabitants of Goon River?
Somebody jaywalked.
Oh, the big jaywalking law. They're about to outlaw jaywalking. It's I'll tell you something about the inhabitants of Goon River. There's only 6 of them. They're nice people. Now is a good time, by the way, to change your names and so that we can meet the inhabitants of Goon River. They're nice people, but I'll tell you one thing. They are either for it or against it. So there's a big initiative to outlaw jaywalking in Goon River, and we're going to meet some of those people right now. Hey, you know who I see right in front of me? Frida Jones. Frida Jones, tell us about yourself, what you do in Goon River, and if you're for it or against it.
Well, I'm a freelance journalist, and I have come to so many car accidents where they've slammed on the brakes for a jaywalker, and it just seems logical to me that they outlaw jaywalking. So I'm for it.
You are for it. Excellent. How much is it a local newspaper or?
Well, I write for newspapers all over the world, but our local newspaper, well, they wouldn't hire me. I don't know what the problem is. I mean, I'm a really fantastic journalist.
Interesting. All right. Hello, Lulu Ann Scuple. What a lovely name. Tell us about yourself, please.
Oh, thank you. Well, I am Lou Ann, and I own the local diner here in Goon River. Everybody comes to eat there.
Oh, how excellent. And tell me, are you for or against the ban on jaywalking?
Oh, I am completely against this ban. Oh. People have the right to jaywalk.
Is that, I guess, because it gets them to your diner quicker?
It gets them to my diner quicker. It's a quicker pace of walking when you don't have to stop for the lights. If there are no cars, you should be able to go.
It's kind of the American spirit there. All right. I'm going to, J.L. Grunts. That's a beautiful name, JL. Tell us about yourself, if you will.
Thank you. I'm just stretching. I'm stretching for the jaywalking marathon. I've run 752 jaywalking marathons now.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, I normally do it just by myself, but we do have ongoing jaywalking marathon events sometimes.
All right, then we've met JL. Are you anything else in the town other than a jaywalking enthusiast?
Oh, I run the local gymnasium.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, really nice to meet you. Marietta Smithson. Oh, I'm sorry. One second. I'm sorry, JL. You had something else?
I'd like to support the jaywalking.
Yeah. Oh, I figured you were for the jaywalking.
Okay.
I mean, you're do jaywalking.
You skipped right over that.
Well, I assumed since you did marathons of jaywalking that you didn't want it banned.
I want it for the record, okay?
Sure. I wrote it down. I wrote it down. All right. I wrote it down. I promise. Whew, steroids. Marietta Smithson, tell us about yourself.
Yes, I'm a retired school teacher when we used to have children in Goon River. And I don't think I like the idea of jaywalking. It could be dangerous. On the other hand, there's very little traffic here. So I guess some days I'm for and some days I'm against. I mean, yes, I suppose on the whole, I'm for the ban on jaywalking. And on other days, I'm against it.
How interesting. You might end up the swing vote in this.
Yes.
Yes. And then we'll find out you're a swinger. That's kind of cool. Lucy, hello. Nice to meet you. Tell us about yourself.
Nice to meet you. I am the town risk manager. I assess the risk. So I know both sides of this story. Because if we ban jaywalking, we are such a small town, we would have to bring in more police, hire more people, and that will bring them in from the surrounding areas and increase our economy, bring more people over to Luann's Diner because they got to eat during the day. On the other hand, risk keeps your mind alert. What is more challenging than dashing across that street when a car comes by, skinning your teeth? That's a nice way to live.
Okay, so we have somebody else who's both for and against, depending upon which way the wind is blowing. Last but not least, Mrs. Green Jeans. What a lovely name. Tell us about yourself, if you will.
Howdy. I'm Mrs. Green Jeans, and I own the coffee shop there on the corner.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you a question. Are you in direct competition with Luann, who owns the diner? Oh.
No.
No?
I supply coffee for the diner. Our back doors, I go out my back door, and she has a back door, and I supply the coffee.
What an interesting arrangement. That's really cool.
We work together.
Okay, so it's kind of like a cartel.
Cartel.
It's a fancy. Now, let me ask you this: are you for it, or are you for the ban on jaywalking, which I guess is against jaywalking?
I am for the ban on jaywalking because my coffee shop is on the corner, so you have to cross the cross. You go, and you're there.
The more we keep them on that corner, the more coffee you sell.
Yes.
Smart. Okay. So now we know that many people in the town are for it and against it. I want to talk about the day before the ban happened, the big vote in town council. Oh, I neglected to mention that everyone here was on town council. So the day that the day before the big vote, I want to talk about where you were, who you saw, see if there was any intrigues going on. Let's start with you, Lucy. Where were you the day before?
I was gathering my facts. I went to every house of all the residents and the businesses to take a poll to see where they are so I could tailor my data and they would have informed facts to make a decision. Raise the economy, save lives. We didn't get down to 6 people just like that. Stuff happened to them.
Oh.
So I'm just gathering data.
Little bit of mystery. Did you see anybody as you were gathering data?
I saw everybody, especially that traffic between the coffee shop and the diner. Oh, ma. Somebody should make a ban on going in and out of someone else's back door. In and out, in and out, in and out.
Well, let's talk to the back door lady herself. Luann, can we talk about the day before the big vote? I understand there was a lot of traffic between your place and Mrs. Green Jeans.
There was a lot of traffic that day. Mrs. Green Jeans was just delivering her coffee right into my back door, just as always. And also, hi, team. Anyway, we were having fun watching people like kind of play like a human game of Frogger, getting across the walkway without that band going, because they could just jaywalk and
Sure.
stuff, and so we were just watching that and laughing, and I happened to see that Marietta, that retired school teacher.
Yes.
Well, she was tracking down that other guy, the one who runs the gym, JL Grunts. You know who he is?
I do.
She was tracking him down because she knows that he is a marathon jaywalker, and she was trying to get him to stop.
Well, let's go talk. No, you go ahead. You finish.
No, it just wasn't right.
It's not. Well, let's go talk to her about it. Marietta, tell me about the day before the big town council vote. I understand you were putting pressure on JL Grunts.
Who told you that?
Well,
I don't put pressure on anybody. I'm a school teacher, a retired school teacher. I was just talking to Mr. Grunts to ask him why he opposed the ban. I want to know what his reason was. I always go by facts. And I talked to Lucy, the risk manager, to find out what the risks are and the pros and cons. That's all I was doing. And then I saw those two, that Luann and this Green Jeans, yakety yakety yak yak, through their back doors, gossiping as usual about all the people in the town.
okay. I'm starting to feel like I'm getting conflicting stories here. You know what? I'm going to go to the main news source in this town, Frida Jones. Frida Jones, clear things up. The day before the big town council vote, where were you? What did you see?
Well, I was in my house, but you have to understand my house is right on the main strip and I can see right outside what's going on. So I was in my house. I was writing a story about this meeting that was due to come up and the pros and cons and the wishy-washy people in this town who can't make up their mind about anything. And then suddenly this dog goes running across the street and Marietta and JL chasing the dog. And then Mrs. Green Jeans and Luann were just standing there giggling. And well, so then Lucy knocked on my door and Lucy had all these questions. Sure. And I said, wait a minute, I'm the journalist here. And she said, no, I'm not writing a story. And I said, well, my story isn't for the local Gazette. This is a big story. It's going worldwide. Okay. And she kept taking notes. I don't know why.
So you saw literally everybody. Wow, that hasn't.
One, I see it all. That's what we journalists do. We watch everything.
Hasn't cleared things up for me a bit. Hey, JL Grunts, I understand you, Marietta, Dog. What were you doing the day before the big vote?
I'm glad. I'm really happy you asked me.
Sure.
I was just coming off of my practice jaywalking marathon.
Yep.
I was ready for the next day when the ban was lifted. There was, we could all jaywalk in a marathon together.
Sure.
And I needed some caffeine. I was jonesing for that caffeine, and I just had to get pumped. I had to get pumped for the next day.
Sure you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was pumping iron, but I needed to pump some caffeine.
Yeah.
And I saw all these people running in and out of back doors, and I said, I never take the back door. I go right in the front door. That's what I do. So
Well,
I went into Green Jeans front door.
sure.
The coffee was all gone. And I immediately went over to, Luann's Diner.
Interesting.
That's
What? Go ahead.
when Marietta and the dog, it was hard to take almost. I almost broke out and almost cried. It was so
Well,
terrible.
you try to compose yourself a minute if you
Okay.
can. Just try to take a second. Hey, Mrs. Green Jeans, I understand that the day before the big vote, you ran out of coffee.
I ran out of coffee
Now,
because I took it all over to Miss Luann's Diner. So if you wanted coffee, you had to go to Miss Luann's Diner.
that strikes me that it would be very difficult for you to run out of coffee because all you do is make coffee.
But if you don't have any, you can't make it.
Well, I cannot argue with that, not even a little bit. So you ended up taking all of your coffee over to Luann's, and there was no more coffee in your coffee shop. You might want to, I don't know, you might want to look into your business model.
But
Yeah. Yes.
I saw
Oh,
out my front door,
okay.
which is next to the crosswalk,
Yep.
JL jaywalking to come to get coffee.
Yes. Oh,
I didn't have any, so he went to Luann's, but he jaywalked.
he does. He does that a lot. Okay. I want to talk now about the day of the vote. You all were going into the council chamber to do the big vote, just outside of the big council office when the thing happened. And I don't want to bring up any bad feelings or bad stories, but can you please, if you will, tell me what happened? Let's start with you, Luann. Everybody seems to be in and out of your shop all the time. You seem to be the center of town. Tell me what happened that day.
Well, thank you, Scotty. So Mrs. Green Jeans had given me her whole, yes?
No,
She's-
hi.
oh, she's
Waving
waving.
hello.
She gave me all of her coffee because we wanted everybody to be really awake for the vote so that they could think clearly about how stupid this ban was. I had to hide the coffee at first from everybody. So everybody thought there was no coffee. That dude, JL, he went into tears. It was just crazy. Anyway, I'm on my way to go to the vote, and I've got all the coffee in my hands, and I go to cross the street, and of course I'm jaywalking, and wouldn't you know it, I get hit by a truck, spat on the ground.
Oh my God! Right there in the street in front of the council office. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so that explains you. Now, Marietta, what happened to you that day?
Well, I was going into the council to vote, and I saw Luann crossing the street, and she had this big urn of coffee in her hands.
Yep.
And I thought, great, at least we're going to get coffee, because I'm going to find it so hard to stay awake in this boring meeting. But anyway, along comes a truck, hits Luann. Luann goes down. This big urn of coffee goes flying. I try to catch it because, God, we can't lose all that coffee. It hits me on the head. I go down and bump my head. Coffee scalding all over me, and I died.
Oh no! I'm so shocked by that. Well, let's talk a bit to the source of the coffee, Mrs. Green Jeans. Now, you saw Luann get hit by the truck. You saw Marietta get hit by the urn of coffee. What happened to you?
On my way to the council place, the building that you go to vote. On the way, I used the crosswalk, made it. I went to the council, and there they were, and it shocked me. And I had a stainless steel straw in my hand.
Oh dear.
Yes, a bunch of them for everybody for coffee, and I tripped over Miss Luann, and it stabbed me in the heart. Oh, over here.
Oh.
Stabbed me in the heart, and I died.
Wow. And
blood came out the other.
Yeah, no, I figured that. Yeah, I figured that would be really awful. Wow. Okay. Let's talk to you, Lucy. So all this carnage in the street in front of you, surely you saw that risk coming.
I did. I did. And frankly, that settled in my mind while I was going to present at the meeting not to have that jaywalking law. Because you know what? If this town would have put in a stop sign, they wouldn't be dead. So jaywalking needs to happen. So I thought, I didn't know Luann was dead. I ran into the street to try to save her, but then she was dead. I'd never seen like a dead body before.
Sure.
I started throwing up.
Oh.
And next thing you know, I aspirated and died in my own.
Oh yeah, we don't need to know what you died in, but you aspirated. That's a very technical term. I like that. Oh, you would think that you would have seen that coming somewhere down the road, being in risk management. JL, talk to us here. You've been jaywalking safely for years. What happened to you that day?
Yeah, decades. I've been jaywalking decades. Actually.
Decades are made of years. Yeah, they're like a big chunk of years.
I just want it on the record.
Sure,
okay?
I got it on the record. I wrote it down.
Put it on the record. It's decades. Okay.
You got it.
And I got to tell you something, Scotty. I was out. I was looking for coffee like the day before. I needed, to get that caffeine. I was pumping hard, and there's a reason why I don't like them dogs. Okay, I was jaywalking. I wasn't really watching where I was going, and there was a big pile of dog poop.
Oh no!
From that darn dog.
Oh,
and I just kind of slipped out from under me.
Yeah.
And I turned to kind of catch myself, and my head just landed right. I mean, it was the hardest poop I've ever felt or seen or anything. It just gave me a concussion, and I never came out of it.
Oh wow, that is irony right there. I'm not sure how, but it's irony. Wow, that's awful. Now, Frida, I saved you for last because you are a member of the Fifth Estate, and I'm hoping against hope. I hope you don't break my heart. I'm hoping that somehow you made it through this to tell the story. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. Tell me what happened to you that day.
Well, that day was exactly like Lucy said. It was the exact reason that I was against it. I was I was for the jaywalking ban. I was against jaywalking.
Gotcha.
I was just against it. So, but then I was a little bit late. Actually, I wasn't late. I was early. I was in the room where we were supposed to do our vote because I was very determined to get my vote in. And then Mrs. Green Jeans stabs herself with a metal straw. And so I ran to help her. And then I heard all this carnage out on the street because nobody was showing up. And so I ran out to see what was going on. And oh my God, there were dead people piled on top of each other. And I ran to help them, but my shoelaces were untied. And I stepped on one of my shoelaces and down I went. Well, first it was just, scraped elbow
Oh.
and knee. I thought I was going to be fine. But then I hit my head and I passed out and bled to death.
I'll bet it was on the poop.
Maybe.
I am
Maybe.
so sorry that happened. I really hope that you're going to make it through to tell this story. Well, I know that this was a traumatic event for all of you, and I thank you for telling us your tale of woe. And I thank you for being a tale of happiness and the tale of happiness. Thank you. I'm glad that you're here and you've joined us to watch Improv tonight. There's going to be more. You hang around. There's going to be more coming right at you. So stay there.